Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to video number 2 on the Easy Path series of 9.3.2. We are going to tackle 9.3.2 skill gate path with the defenders of Miles Morales, Bastion, Invisible Woman, Prowler, Spider-Man Supreme, and Spot. The boss is going to be Cyclops Blue Team, Captain America Infinity War, and Iron Man Infinity War, and we're going to attempt to take out Cyclops. Now for your boosted masteries, you can just go ahead and boost, but it's not really required. But if you're not using champions with higher rarity or rank, I would suggest you to use your boost, and you do not require any relics. Now this is all about miss. I will explain the nodes during the fights. All you need to do is to bring in champions that have either tracking, vigilance, or they are anti-miss, and you should be good to get through this path quite easily. So let's jump into the path, talk about the nodes, and look at the fights. Now this fight is all about bringing in your anti-miss champions that have either tracking, vigilance, and they can work super well. The big node here is going to be proliferate with special dodge, so the defender will gain 1 skirt charge every 2 seconds to a maximum of 20, and the timer is paused during your special attacks and for 3 seconds every time you dodge a special attack from the opponent. Now once these charges start building up, your buff ability is going to reduce by 5 seconds because of the node Scourge Neutralize, and also the duration of the incoming damaging debuffs on the opponent is also reduced by 4%, so you have to take care about that. But that's not going to really matter as long as you bring in your anti-miss champions, because there's a node that is Eradicate. So once the charges build up to 10, all you need to do is to use a special attack in the block, and that will do quite a bit of damage that is going to burst down the opponent. So right here I'm trying to hit a special attack and look at that burst damage, and just like that, Miles Morales is down. So that is pretty much all about this path. You need to bring in champions that have anti-miss. Just make sure you look at the defenders, what class they are, and you can bring in class advantage champions. Like for example, I've brought in a gladiator against a Bastion because he is a tech class, so I'm going to use him. So just make sure there's a mixture of science class, tech class, and there's also a Spidey Supreme. So make sure that you bring in the right counters, and there's a very nasty spot at the end of it that you will require a counter for. So make sure that you bring in the right counters for them. And the final node is going to be Stage Fright. So whenever you will use a special attack, there will be a 15-second timer, I think. Yeah, it's a 15-second timer. If you are going to use another special attack in the same timer, you're going to take regen 50% of your health, and that really hurts. So you really have to look at that orange, that yellow cooldown icon just underneath your health bar. Wait for it to go off of cooldown, and then you can use a special attack. And right here I'm taking down Bastion, so all I'm trying to do is to build up my vigilance, get up to an SP2, and with all of this built up confidence, I can do a lot of damage. One thing I like to do with Bastion is always push him to an SP2, because his SP1 deals a lot of damage and you die super quick. Next up is going to be Invisible Woman. I'm so happy they changed this defender, because in the CCP beta this was a photon, and photon was really annoying to deal with. Another thing that I did not mention is whenever we'll use a special attack in the opponent's block, you will eradicate all of those charges if they are more than 10, and also you will get untouchable. So even if the defender tries to attack you after using a special attack, that is not going to work because you're going to miss that. So we are going against Invisible Woman, and I've brought in my Ironheart, and all I'm trying to do is to get as many of those incinerate charges up so I can deplete her field also, and I can take her out. Now you will see what happens here. That I'm trying to build up to an SP2, and now I just want to hit her in the block, a special attack, but I am not able to do that. And while I'm trying to make her block, all of my incinerate charges run out and my tracking is lost, and when I use my special attack, the charges do not deal any kind of damage, but on the contrary, I am eradicated because the charges went to 15. So I was trying to be cute there, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm just gonna build up my charges, get up my incinerate charges, get up to an SP2, and that should be more than enough. So if you're going through this fight, you don't have to eradicate the charges, to be honest, but then it kind of helps with the blast damage. But don't worry about that. Even if you get eradicated yourself at 15 charges, it's okay. The damage is not much and you can survive that quite easily. So here I am just healing back up with my willpower because of the exhaustion charges from Invisible Woman, just building up to an SP2, waiting for the stage fright node to go off of cooldown, and then a big SP2, 34,000 each, crit, and Ironheart takes out Invisible Woman. Same concept here against Prowler. Bring in a champion that can bypass that miss from Prowler. He can be annoying if you don't have the right champion, so it's very important that this fight really requires the miss, because every time you're going to go miss him, he's also going to apply ruptures on you, and that's going to deal a lot of damage. So I'm being very patient here, just building up my confidence and building up to an SP2. So once I have the SP2 up, my vigilance will be active and I can deal all sorts of damage. But now he's at 10 of those charges of Scourge. Now I have to hit a special attack and block. But be careful when you do that the opponent does not have a falter up on you, because that's going to make you miss the special attack, just like I missed it in the last fight against Invisible Woman, and all of that hard work is going to go to waste. So again, just wait. I'm going to wait the Scourge charges to go to 10. Playing very safe, only hitting him when I have vigilance on. There you go. Let him throw those special attacks out. He's got 9 of those charges. I'm going to wait for the 10th one, and now after the falter is gone, I'm going to dash back to let him block with an SP1, eradicate the charges, and deal a lot of damage. So again, it is a very fun path. You will really enjoy this one. It's one of the most fun parts in 9.3.2. All you need to do is just bring in champions that can bypass miss, and you're good to go. Now, for example, Spider-Man Supreme is there, so I specifically brought Human Torch because I don't have to worry about the max temperature, and once that is there, I don't have to worry about the miss, so I can just keep pushing him and keep getting those power stings up. I can push him to an SP2, it's easily evadable, and yeah. Human Torch will have a great time here. I'm going to save up my special attack, so once there are 10 charges of Spider-Man Supreme, I can use it in the block and I can eradicate them and deal a bunch of burst damage to Spider-Man Supreme. So waiting it out, here's an SP2, look at that damage. And even if he attacks me now, I have an untouchable, so they do not bypass evade, so I'll be safe. So don't worry about getting retaliated after hitting a special attack in the block. And just before you know it, because you're using Human Torch, such a big HP on Spider-Man Supreme is just gone. Now, before we jump on to the boss fight, the last fight is going to be against a Spot. Now, I have brought in a Silver Sable. She is a counter, but she's not the perfect counter, and she's only 7-star rank 2, so you will notice it will take me quite a bit of while to take down Spot, so you can bring in better counters. So one of the better counters is going to be Bullseye. Bullseye is just nuts against this guy. So any skill champion that can bypass miss, you can work. You can use both of the Daredevils, they will work as well. I just like Silver Sable and her playstyle, so I brought her in. So all I'm trying to do is to use parry and heavy, so I have that disorient up, and against science champions that is 100%, so Spot does not gain any kind of charges on him, and he does not go into his mode, and even if he does, I don't have to worry about it because my heavy attacks are going to bypass miss. So as long as I throw my heavy attacks, I am not going to miss and I'm going to be good. So I just used my special one to eradicate all of those charges, but I took quite a lot of damage because I did not wait for the stage fright cooldown to be over. I just jumped in to do all of that damage. So just be careful about that, but I was just playing to get rid of Spot as quick as possible. So as long as I have the disorient up, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about the Spot charges also. Let him throw an SP2 here, and at the end of it, again, I will parry and throw a heavy attack and get that disorient up again. So as long as I have the disorient, I don't need to worry about the untouchable. But when he is untouchable, make sure that you use only heavy attacks if you're going to use Silver Sable. Otherwise, I've given you quite a few options. To be honest, anybody works as long as they have a miss counter, and you should be getting through this fight quite comfortably in the end. And there you go. All the path is clear. Let's jump on to the boss. Now, you might have noticed a little bit of hesitancy from me on picking up the champion because Cyclops is going to be annoying in a sense that he's going to have astral evade. So whenever you will parry and you try to hit him, he's going to evade you and he's going to retaliate back. Apart from that, he also has Bub and Weave, so if he hits you in your block, he is going to deal crit damage. The way you disable Bob and Weave is you either intercept him or you dex him. We all know what we need to do. We just need to dex him. Just keep him to an SP1 because SP2 can deal a lot of damage and you can die in one go. Now, the way this fight works, you cannot parry and attack him if you don't have an anti-evade champion. And also, once he uses a special attack for 2 seconds, he is going to get an evade charge on him that you can see underneath his health bar. So you have to really wait out the specials, you have to play it slow, and you have to block more so he can throw a heavy attack and you can wait out the evade and then you can retaliate. So heavy attacks, there is no evade charge, so you can punish after heavy, but after SP1 or if you parry, he's going to evade, so you have to be careful about that. And also try to dex him more often because the Bob and Weave will crit you through the block, but if you keep it on cooldown, you don't need to worry about that. So any tanky champion that is tech is going to work. Your Warlock is a good option because his armor also reduces the crit through crits through block. So Warlock is a great option as well. I've given you quite a few options. You can also bring in anti-evade champions and totally bypass that. In that case, you will only have to keep a lookout of the specials. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what champions did you use, and I'll be back for 9.3.3 Easy Path. Bye.